Alrighty, hi everyone. I hope you read page 23 as instructed and answered the questions and did the summary. Now let's go ahead and talk about that summary real quick before we hop back in. Alrighty, we are looking at page 23. So Flavius says, "Oh, you're a shoe repairer." So he's understanding at last that this guy is a cobbler. Then he says, "Faith, sir, all my living is based on the all. I don't meddle in tradesmen's affairs nor in affairs with women, but overall, I'm a shoe surgeon." So he talks a little bit about his craft. And he says, "Why aren't you in the workshop today? Why are you with all these people in the streets?" And the cobbler says, "LOL, I'm just trying to get them to wear out my shoes so that I have more work to do. It's called advertising, Flavius." But not really. He's just joking. He says, "Actually, we're here to celebrate and see Caesar." So then Marius goes on this huge rant about Caesar. And what is there to celebrate Caesar? What has he done for us? Don't you remember Pompey? You used to celebrate Pompey, and who drove Pompey out? It was Caesar, and you were happy about, and he just kind of is talking about how all of Rome's rulers have, in his opinion, not been very great. So they've gotten a little bit political, right? And then you were supposed to read all the way up to knees and pray that the gods don't send a plague to punish you for this ingratitude. So he's talking about, you know, uh, throwing flowers before the man who triumphed over Pompey's sons. And so they used to love Pompey. Then Caesar came over, kicked out Pompey, and he's saying, "How dare you be so ungrateful to Pompey, who you loved? You better repent and ask the Lord to forgive you of your ingratitude." Alrighty, so that's kind of a summary of page 23, the page you just read. Now the questions we had, these are from the binder. We're going to go through the answers. Okay, so it says on page 23, the cobbler starts off with "On faith, sir." Look back at page 22 and find what faith means in this context. What is it, everyone? It's truly correct. Why were the commoners all out on the streets to celebrate this day? Everyone. Shibuya, it is to celebrate Caesar. Who did the crowds used to cheer for back in the day? Beautiful. Pompey. You guys are so smart. Who drove Pompey out of Rome? It was Caesar. Good job. Alrighty, now this is just a thinking question. We don't have partners, we can't talk about it, but why do you think the crowds that once loved Pompey are now cheering for Caesar? Tell your partner what you think. So this is, your partner is in your brain. You can tell your little imaginary friend, or you could call your mom in here to talk to her about this if you must. But why do you think the crowds that once loved Pompey are now cheering for Caesar? Alrighty, so that's questions for those. We're going to go ahead and finish up Act 1, and then I just have one more activity at the end of Nearpod for you, and then a closing video to let you know about your homework. I know this is a bunch of tiny videos. I hope that's not too annoying for you. I just thought this might be a little tiny bit more engaging than me just staring and talking all the time. So we left off with him saying, "I'll cobble you, sir," and then he understands, right? Then we have that whole summary where Marius is going on this giant rant about Caesar and how much he dislikes him and about how he kicked out Pompey, etc. So then Flavius says, "Go, fellow countrymen, and to remedy this fault, gather together all the poor men of your class. Lead them to the banks of the Tiber, and cry there until your tears flood the river to the highest level." So he's saying you should be so sad about the fact that you are in the streets cheering for Caesar. You need to go and cry until the river overflows. What is that song by Justin Bieber about crying a river? I don't know. Anyway, so those two leave, right? They're going to go cry themselves a river and build themselves a bridge. See how their ignorant feelings have been touched. They slink away, speechless with guilt. And then Flavius says, "You go down that way, toward the Capitol. I'll take this route. If you find any statues of Caesar with crowns or decorations on them, take them off." And Marius says, "Dare we? You know it's the Feast of Leprechaun." "Who cares? No statue shall have Caesar's decoration on them. I'll go around ordering the common people off the streets. Do the same yourself wherever you see them congregating. If we pull Caesar down a peg or two now, we'll maybe keep his feet on the ground. Left unchecked, he'll get above himself. We'll lose our freedom and live in fear. Alrighty. So before I go on, I just want to talk about this. Flavius is essentially saying, listen, we can't let Caesar get too proud, right? If his people love him too much, then he's going to start taking away our freedoms. He's going to get hungry with power. Okay, so that's why he's saying we need to go around. If there's any decorations on Caesar statues, we need to take them down. That's what he's kind of saying there. We have one more set of activities, of questions. So we're going to stop this video. You guys are going to do that. Then in the closing video, I'm going to tell you your homework and you know, all that good stuff, and answer the questions that you're going to do. All right, so I'll see you in just a moment. Thanks for watching again.